finally back, North Fork. It's brown, it's not very high, but at least the water has finally come on. It's working its way up. Not coming to North Fork last year, even just to run, but as well as missing North Fork Championship last year was like, it was the right call, but it was still brutal because it's one of my favorite weekends of the year, and the North Fork is like, it's just one of the best pieces of whitewater ever. But finally made it up from GoPro Games. It valleyed up yesterday. Made it to Crouch today, unloaded the trailer, valleyed up. Luckily everyone's up here, Jake's practicing. Level's still on its way up, but the cool thing is that it's only Tuesday and they're already setting up the gates. Normally, on most years, the gates would maybe go up like a little bit on Thursday, and then Friday you would get your like first like practice lap on the proper course, and then race the main race on Saturday. So you didn't get much practice, but this year they already got almost all the gates set up, and it's like 2 o'clock on Tuesday, so everyone's gonna have a lot of training, which is great because we're all gonna be able to feel out the moves, but it's also gonna be tough because a lot more people are gonna get used to the moves, which means a lot of people are gonna be fast this year. It's really weird seeing the river brown. Even at high water, I've never seen this river brown, but because they just turned the water on like yesterday, I think it's still just kind of clearing out. But I'll take brown with the water on any day. Stoked. Time to get dressed, get my first practice lap. The course looks pretty similar to previous years. We still got the 2 gates here. You have to go right at the first one, left at the second one. This is usually like the champion's killer when it comes to the race. This is the one that a lot of people make it kind of luckily, and some of the world's best paddlers miss it. Like, this is one of the better moves. It's a really hard move, and it's the reason why they do it every year, because it's a classic and it's the first move you do. So if you miss that gate, you're like, ah, crap, and then you still have the whole course to do. And then I haven't been back since that rock fell in, but there's a new rock up there on the left, and that's supposed to be a sick boop in higher water. Unfortunately, it's not high enough for it like right now, and it shouldn't be high enough by the race. But what they did is added a new gate behind it where you have to go right of the rock, but then cut left of that gate. Apparently, that's been a harder move than this upper one so far, so I'm excited to try that. Then you got the classic down there, you got the up left at rock drop, and then ferry across to the other side, another up on the right. Then there should be a new up below Taffy on the right, which apparently at these flows has a lot of rocks in the way, so it could be interesting. Then you're gonna have to go left to Witch's Tit, deal with Ocean Wave, which is left of another gate, and then deal with the kind of tricky technical whitewater after the finish. Such a sick race. Woo! Stoked! Woo! I'm so fired up for this. You don't have to go as high this year. No. First lap went good. Made the gates. Although this lower water level, the hole at rock drop, at that ferry move, the hole is much more like retentive and much more like a pour over. Normally you kind of have to like ferry into it pretty high. But with the lower water level, it's more of a hole. I think I need to go lower so I don't get it surfed. I love this race. This river, but just so stoked to be back here. You know, I just love doing as many laps every day, filling out the course, getting used to it. It's just everything from the practice to the race, one of the best events of the year, if not the best. And I think this one I'm going to go to rock drop and then practice the ferry at rock drop a few times, because that one will get you. That's a great spot to potentially lose the race. shot.
Yeah.
Fun. I like the low water with all the gates. So much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, first one. Bound to happen at some point. Got a little lazy, missed all the gates. Woo! Oh, we're tired. Yeah, it's like the same that one. Yeah! Woo! Oh yeah, go right of the way. Nice. Don't hit that hole. Oh. Ah! All right, lefty.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was nice.
Watch your bow. Nope. Bye, bud. Oh, right banked.
Right back, not too hard.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Woo. All right. Decided to call it at like 24 laps or whatever it was. I was getting tired. When I started to miss more gates, I was like, maybe I should just get out. Oh! Woo! Now I just had a savage back ender down there at Taffy. But it's not a place I want to be upside down.
I haven't been here in 2 years, and I can tell.
Yeah, just probably being back in Norfolk, like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Alright, that was a lot of fun. Solid start. It's so nice having the gates a few days before the race rather than the day before. It's a fun course. A couple of the gates are the same. Maybe would have liked to see something a little different, especially now with the lower water. There's more eddies and more options to get technical. But that being said, moves they do have, they have a couple of the harder moves that have happened in courses on the same course, including that one new move that is tricky. It's fun. It's not an easy course. That's what I really like about these lower flows, is that there's just a lot more options to make the gates a lot harder. Can't get lazy. Such a fun course. Really looking forward to the next few days, and just so fired up to be back on, not only on the North Fork, but to be able to have the North Fork Championship again. It's gonna be one massive reunion. Regardless of the results, this is gonna be such a good year. So fired up, so many people here, so many friends I haven't seen forever. It's gonna be sick. Whew, let's go, it's gonna be so good. All right, it's Wednesday morning. I'm here in Crouch, Idaho. So stoked to be back here. It was definitely not the same last year, not only not having all the events, but just not being able to come to the North Fork and enjoy this area, because it's one of my favorite areas in the world. But yeah, it's Wednesday. This means that it's the final day of training before the races start for North Fork. Tomorrow's the qualifier, Friday's the boat across, and then Saturday, Jake's main event. One of the best races of all time, if not the best race of the year. We're gonna head up the river soon, but before we do that, first thing I need to do is get my new boat outfitted. Ordered this boat a long time ago, finally got it just in time for the race. My current Nirvana got very, very, very beat up over the spring and summer, especially in California, so glad I got a fresh one to keep me nice and slippery and fast for the race. Yeah, but first thing first, gotta get it outfitted. Love myself a fresh boat. You. Shiny. All right, boat's ready. Time to go kayaking. It is high noon on Wednesday. The course is fully set up, and somehow there's like no one here. On my first lap, I'm like, yeah. Twice now I've been like way right, like,
Everyone's like,
what am I doing? very smooth this year. There's more of like an eddy here. Second gate so many times today.
You did. I've only done it once. How many laps is it now?
Like 23 or something. Like it's harder for the ferry, the hole is more sticky, and the lip isn't as defined.
I know.
Like there's gonna be some good content there.
It's because of the new rock.
Yeah, slow it down. On a race like this because one, the more laps you do, the more kind of like different scenarios play out, then you have like a kind of a better idea of what to expect in a lot of ways. Now at least have a better idea of how to react properly. Obviously the more tired you get, it's a lot easier to get lazy, and I like that feeling of being really tired but yet still trying to make sure to put in all the effort to do the moves, whether it's a boost stroke or a couple really hard strokes to make that ferry, whatever it is. I find by doing it when I'm really tired, I get good at like mentally being like, all right, even though you really don't want to right now, actually put in the effort and do the line right. Because a lot of times when you're racing, nerves and all that, that's kind of how you feel. Even if you're full of energy, you're really nervous and you almost feel pretty tired throughout the whole race either way in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's worth getting the feeling. I like doing a lot of laps. Plus, I mean, it's such a fun course, such a fun rapid. Why not spend all day doing laps on it? Alright, finished up 32 laps on Jake's. Decided to make a quick rally up to S-turn to at least get a couple laps. But the top 10 that aren't already in for Saturday from this race qualify on to go compete with us on Saturday. But also, if you want to be able to do the motocross on Friday, you need to do this race on Thursday because the top 35 on this race are who qualify for the motocross on Friday. That turns out near challenging, but it's definitely still a really fun rapid. About half the flow from when I was last here in 2019, so double checking where all those rocks are. All right. That was a solid day. I am exhausted now. That was so much kayaking. Like 32 laps on Jake's, only the half course, but still. And then went up and did like 4 laps on the S-turn. It's fun to check out that rapid again, but yeah, I'm beat. Now it's time to enjoy some good food because races start tomorrow. Start things off with the S-turn, still gotta do well so that way we can get seated well to do the boat across. But more than anything, just looking forward to seeing what the times are going to be tomorrow. We're going to do the race in the morning, and then we're going to head up to Boise to Pay Up Brewing to do a kind of like a film festival, film showing, as well as you know, get the result to find out who the top 10 that gets to race with the rest of us on Jake's is going to be. I'm fired up to see who ends up being in the top 10 because it's a hard race to qualify. It's not easy, but it is a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the results roll in. More than anything, just looking forward to the next 3 days. That's just going to be all time. It'll be so good. Phew.